Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video as we dive into another Fallout 4 challenge, and with this one, I think there's going to be a doozy. It's unorganized, it's unethical, it's everything, and I know y'all are going to be into it, and if you already know by the video, you know things are going to be very interesting. We start out with trying to build our character. Considering the theme and that I'm going to be joking all about saving a holy barbecue, or at least that was in the original script, the only goal is to make my character look like as white as possible, and that's in the hair, not the skin. The skin was just because I was lazy. I set my stats to nothing really special because I didn't know much about this gun, and I named myself Victor. I thought about naming myself Zane after a ninja of ice, as many of you know, but I decided on Victor just because I thought the name seemed the most normal, but while still fitting with the theme. Other than that, there's not too much to talk about in character creation because there's pretty much nothing else. You don't pick any tag skills or anything like that. You run directly to the vault, and oh boy did I run. See, I heard this rumor about a holy barbecue in the vault. That rumor would turn out to be a lie. You just stand out here for the entire time even though the people know that there's a nuclear bomb that's coming right about now. Damn it, I was off by a little bit. But either way, we roll right into the next part of this, where my wife gets frozen, I get frozen, my wife gets shot, I do not get shot, therefore I win. I don't know what I win, but I won the bet. Breaking out of here without killing the rad roaches is pretty easy. I mean seriously, you just spend some time running around. It was tricky the first time, but not anymore. I find the weapon that I need, however I can't access it without a master lockpicking skill. I did not or will ever acquire that skill. I did escape the vault, however, and oh boy, is it back and bright out here. Back and bright? What the fuck did I just even say? Do I really even have a script here? I start by putting some wired fences together just so then that way I can level myself up a couple of times and gain some more XP. Should have said that in the reverse order, my god. I find Dogmeat, who is going to be the catalyst for this challenge. Why? Because Dogmeat's going to be able to get me the gun. All you have to do is tell him to find items in the vault, and then he goes here and grabs the gun. But not only does he grab the gun, he also grabs 200 shots and a stim pack. Talk about the goodest boy in the whole Boston Commonwealth area that you can make friendly. Holy cow, this guy's nuts. Anyway, on to the sacred mission and explaining the run. For those of you who know, the Cryolator is the only weapon that I can use during this run. It's got a nice ability where it does a lot of damage but also freezes enemies, making this gun a really good one for the entire run. The problem is, as you go out and you shoot enemies, you spend ammo. Ammo is essential. Without ammo, you can't shoot anything. Why am I explaining this? Because I made the mistake. I realized it right about the time that I found Piper and realized that my ammo count was not nearly as high as I wanted it to be. And you want to know where the problem was? I had to shoot Finn. I shot Finn on my adventures because I started looking for ammo, and I needed to go to different stores. Meleeing enemies is a good effect, but it's not the fun way to do it. The problem is, if any enemies or vendors sell cryo cells, they only sell like 2 to 3 at a time, not nearly enough to keep up with my shenanigans, which is going to take a long while. So naturally, I go back with Paladin Dance to Arcjet so he can shoot up a ton of synths, I can take their weapons and ammo and sell it to Gaps to basically build up my fortune. I acquired the deep range transmitter along the mission, fully thought about selling it, but kind of realized that wouldn't exactly work out, which, damn it. Dino was actually pretty easy to kill. You just sneak up on him, use VATS, or don't use VATS, no, you do use VATS, and then you just light him up. And it does an insane amount of damage, like holy shit, this is actually pretty cool, and I had enough ammo to survive this run. Skinny Malone took a few shots to take down, but wasn't even that bad. Again, this gun is actually pretty OP. The main challenge just comes from acquiring ammo, which is a challenge that I'm going to destroy in a couple of minutes. How am I going to destroy it? Oh, I will make sure to tell you, my friends. I will tell you indeed. But first, we have to meet up with Nick. He has a plan. Dogmeat's plan is to go diagonal. Did I understand it? No, but Dogmeat didn't go vertical, he went diagonal. So we respect Dogmeat. Nick's plan was having me sit down and basically tell him everything, and I mean everything, about the kidnappers, my vault experience. Man, it felt like I was being interviewed, and I didn't like being interviewed, so I wrapped it up as soon as possible, or as long as possible. One of the two options, right? In Kellogg's apartment, I looted just about everything I could find because I knew Kellogg wasn't going to use it. He's a filthy vegan barbecuing saboteur. I took a break after I looted his house and played detective, which mainly just meant I'm going to shoot up a doctor. This was kind of a weird bit. I don't know why I went on such a long tangent about going on side quests, but I did. And it took up a few hours, but it was hours I really didn't mind because I had a tad bit of fun. I also found the wall that they built. I know, I can't believe they actually built it, but I went ahead, painted it green, did some other things, like fishing a skull out of some drinking water. Do I know why I did that? No. Did I get paid? Yes. I also found the railroad. The railroad weren't really that interesting at the time. The best way I can think of them is they're the type of people who you tell to bring plates to the barbecue, but they insist, oh no, we can bring some meat or some barbecue. They can't. I did get into a fist fight at a bar, partially my own fault, partially because I was supposed to help give this guy some confidence. Cricket was the holy grail of this challenge. When I finally found her, she was selling like 100-something cryo cells when everyone else was still selling like 3. Seriously, she saved this fucking run. But they're expensive, so how do I go about acquiring them? I break capitalism. See, using the duplication glitch initially on steel or wood is good, but gold is way more valuable and is actually the same weight as steel. So naturally, I duplicated steel until no ends, and then took it back to Cricket and sold it until I ended up getting myself around 180 something stim packs, and I believe around 1,000 shots of ammunition, which wouldn't even be the only time I do that. Maybe it's higher. I really can't remember too much, and I'm trying to read the script and understand why on earth I wrote this after a differential equations exam. I went on a mission with Deacon, who I honestly called Tinker Tom in the first draft of my script, and everything was going great until Deacon tried to get me to join them. I said no, and he offered me a gun that I can't use, which I can't tell is nice because he's trying or mean because he knows I can't use it. I had this close-up with one of the doctors when I was talking with him. I didn't understand why, or I couldn't listen to the conversation. I could just only laugh at how stupid my character looks with those welding goggles. This doctor is kind of annoying, though. He kept on going on about dead drops, protocol, safety, security, blah, blah, blah. I went, and I believe this is Fort Hagen? I don't remember the name of the fort, but you know, the place where you fight Kellogg. The synths were actually really not that bad. I kind of over-prepared against them, but considering how the Broadsider video went, I very much appreciate the fact of over-preparing. Kellogg, however, was a boss fight not even I could expect to be as simple as it was. See, I initially planned on going in, taking out one of the Institute synths, and then attacking Kellogg with everything I had. I did one shot, which almost killed an Institute synth, and then just unloaded on Kellogg. His health bar was almost dead before he could even pop a stim pack or a, stealth boy? Yeah, stealth boy. Basically, this fight was insanely easy. Almost as easy as whenever I normally just take a fat man and fire it at him. I did talk to Nick because we needed a plan. We killed the only guy who could get us into the Institute, which is a problem. So we decided that somehow a journalist was the best option. I was very fearful. The Brotherhood made their presence known. See, they're the ones who are going to be assisting because they're the ones who are going to be able to make the perfect barbecue. With technology like that, you can't tell me that they don't have premium grills and premium charcoal to grill. We did find Kellogg, and what I thought was interesting is this time I actually watched this one cutscene. For the sakes of all jokes in this, the Institute are the ones who basically want to turn every barbecue into a vegan barbecue. Kellogg wanted to join them, and oh boy, did he prove to be an asset, which now makes me glad that I ended up killing him slowly. Virgil gave me something, and something, information, something, I couldn't tell. I just was really wishing, man, I wish this hazmat suit was white so I could do the Victor Freeze cosplay, but I didn't feel like going all the way to Nuka World for a spacesuit. I mean, you might. I personally don't care too much. The Institute Courser we fought, however, this is very easy. I frankly had a more difficult time getting to him than actually fighting him. Partially because it's a one-on-one, but like when I tell you guys this thing melts, it melts. Frankly, VATS does not do as much damage. It can be more precise and save ammo, but it does not do as much damage as just holding down the trigger for a couple of seconds. Don't worry, I made sure to execute these guys so then that way they knew that there were error in their ways of existing in my presence. I did some more breaking capitalism, once again, where I bought as many cryo cells as I could, found a cryo mine somewhere, fully thought about using it since it would have fit the cryo theme, but quickly decided no, we're sticking with one. This challenge is already easy, we do not need to add that I have other weapons. Plus, I can save these for whenever I finally do a Fallout with only explosives run. Cricket was a godsend again, basically just dumping all of my gold in there. I could buy just about as many cryo cells as I could, and then just, pay her the bare minimum and buy stim packs. Oh boy, did this work. Like, seriously, I did not expect her to be this fucking useful in a run. Maybe I'll do a run with only Cricket stuff. Desdemona let me examine the chip, and by that I mean let Tinker Tom do it under the condition that they get to keep it. I really don't have any interest in the chip, so I guess they can have it. Desdemona takes a long time, there's really no way around it. I finally boarded the Pridwin after so long, and let me tell you, I thought Dance was gonna run off and die. He didn't. I listened to the Elder Maxon give a speech. See, as much as I would love to be able to say this speech is really fascinating, the entire time I was just picturing saying something along the lines of,
Ladies and gentlemen, today we arrive in the Commonwealth, and today we prepare. We will host the holiest of barbecues in all of existence, with the premium charcoal, the premium grill, the premium stack of ribs. Now, let us begin.
After his rousing speech, I go on to Fort Strong. Yes, Fort Strong is correct, I have it this time, and I fight some super mutants. Why? Because we're pretty sure that they would raid us for everything we've got, and we don't like that. This is our barbecue. We're gonna hold it and defend it to our lives. But the cryo gun was really well. It even worked insanely well against the behemoth. I learned that VATS is not the best option against him. Instead, just going up to him with an entire magazine does quite a lot of damage to him. However, he can still do a lot of damage to me, because you see that skull next to him? That's Fallout's way of saying, hey, he's a higher level than you, don't go near him, and don't kill him. I would not remember that. Skipping a few chapters ahead, I went ahead and built the Institute teleporter and teleported inside the Institute. I found Kid Sean and was amazed. I finally had my son. He actually looked like me. I was ready to save him. However, he was a vegan-loving bastard, so I got scared. No, that's a surprise. This old man here is somehow my father. No, wait. His name is Father, but he's my son? Who the fuck are these guys? Catholics? No, they're Mormons. Oh god, that's even scarier. I talked to Dr. Madison Lee, where she basically said, hey, find evidence of Virgil's death and I'll join the Brotherhood, which is great because we needed her to get the Holy Grail up and running. And so I did. I found the serum and the tape. I actually kind of got confused because I wondered, how could you not convince Madison Lee of it? But hey, I was already going here, but the serum would never be delivered. I went back to Proctor Ingram and she explained the next part of the plan was Liberty Prime. I was absolutely all for this, and yay. The building process started with me building 5 limb actuators. Everyone knows why there's 5. It's definitely not a game bug, he needs 5. I then talked to Scribe Halen on my way to find some nukes. I hate this quest because there's always something that distracts her. On the inside, the area was easy. The hardest part was killing that Assaultron, but after that, I found where I was supposed to place the sensor, and I placed the sensor. Paladin Dance officially did not like me anymore, and he betrayed us. Turns out he was a spy for those vegan lovers. He thought he could do it and redeem himself, but he decided it was not worth the risk. I initially supported his decision, which, truth be told, I am sad about. He was a great friend, a great ally, a great mentor that I never listened to. He was a great bodyguard, and by that I mean he took a lot of fucking bullets in his power armor for me. He will be sad, but I let him get on his knees because that's his natural position. Seriously, you don't think that the reason he got into that armor is so he couldn't look tough for the other boys? Either way, he died. A painful death, I imagine. Then, the Railroad. They died a painful death as well. Tinker Tom tried to stand up to me with a 10mm pistol in his hands. It didn't work. The others, however, tried more effective solutions of other guns. They would not survive much either, especially the ones with pipe pistols. Glory was really the only challenge here in an actual fight. That being said, a lot of guns, a lot of bullets, still does damage to me, and my foolish placing in the arena did get me killed once or twice. But no more than that, I would roughly say. Then I went to Mass Fusion, and I shot the minigun at the building until we were ready to land. I didn't want to attack or hurt a single institute, because it didn't feel fair. Although it did get me the idea of doing a minigun-only playthrough. At least on Fallout 4, that seems like it might be feasible. The first time that I was ready to jump, it took me so long to figure out how to exit, and whenever I landed, I immediately died, which, yeah, it sucked a lot. The second time, however, I jumped, I landed, and then I immediately got out of the way, found an Institute bastard, and decided to fill him up with ice gun. By ice gun, I mean snowballs. Seriously, the ammo does look like cryocell, but whenever you shoot them, it's just a fucking snowball. Clearing out the rest of the institutes here wasn't too bad. Like I said, this gun is OP. I actually did a lot of damage in the initial fighting of the elevator. The only reason I didn't is because I just didn't feel like getting shot at, so after a little bit, I retreated to behind Ingram. Ingram cannot die, or at least if she can, she's not willing to die that easily. Nick also cannot die as of easy. Trust me, I have tried it. The synths on the ground level, or at least at the end of the elevator, weren't that bad at all, and actually for once I was able to power up the elevator after killing them. But again, these guys were nothing. They should have just sent more coursers after me. I found something interesting. I was curious to see how bad the radiation was, so whenever I get into the beryllium agitator room, I swim. Nothing happens, so naturally I decide to drink it, and then I die instantly. How I drank through a helmet, I will never truly know. In the end though, I did snag the beryllium agitator, and as a pure out test to debunk a video, I actually got the beryllium agitator, and it takes a couple of seconds for those turrets to come on. In my time, I was able to sprint to the entire end of it. Noted. Duly noted. For now. Now, the sentry bot wasn't bad for the reasons you would expect. It's actually pretty easy to take down considering how much damage the snowballs seem to do to it. The problem came after its death, because if you don't know, when a sentry bot dies, it decides that it no longer needs its body, so it explodes. The wall did not protect me against that explosion like I foolishly expected, which meant I had to do it over. The Assaultrons, however, were much easier. The only hard thing about them is that they're smaller, so technically they'd be smaller targets which are harder to hit, but I didn't really experience any difference between them, so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I stuck the thing into the thing on him, technically giving him a back shot, but we're not going to cover that too much because I think that joke is not even that good. I don't know why it's still in the script, but we're rolling with it. We are in fact rolling with it. I also have about 2,000 something bullets, so I think I have enough bullets to end this video. I had to go back to the Institute first just to see what would happen. Liberty Prime is on the way, but Father's dialogue does not change. I know, I just called him Father. Holy cow, am I really doing this? Yeah. But, I basically just stand here for a minute while he talks about how he's disappointed in me and everything, and then he teleports. Father made the mistake of teleporting me behind his synths. Basically, they were battling the Brotherhood in front of them, but then when I teleported in, they had people pushing from behind and in front, and I took them from the back. Yes, I know you all agree with me. Liberty Prime used his super laser, or his nerd laser, and one nuke, which the nuke didn't kill us, but it did manage to burrow a hole deep enough for us to get into the Institute. I was always kind of curious, just relatively how deep would the Institute have been buried in order for them to survive the nuke. Also us, these things are literally told to us that they're nukes. How does this make sense? On the inside, synths weren't too bad, especially in the biosciences division. The hardest part about this fight was just the gorillas, or the turrets. I'd actually say the turrets just because I didn't think about them and they did quite a bit of damage to me. And again, the same philosophy of the more guns that are shooting at you, the more damage is happening to you. While my cryo gun can kill them all, my body is not immortal. Which led to me dying a lot. The next time around, though, things went a lot smoother. I would eliminate the synths. I tried using VATS on a gorilla, thinking that would be the best solution. But then whenever I realized that it's not melting them, I decided it was just faster to hold down the trigger for a couple seconds yet again. Somehow the Brotherhood soldier in power armor had more trouble with the synths and gorillas than I did, even though I'm not in a power armor. Seriously, they had them cornered in there. You just toss a grenade or two, and bam, that guy's dead. Seriously, did no one teach tactics in the Brotherhood? This open corridor normally I don't like because I feel like I end up going an entire circle to the point where the door that you enter in, I feel like that's where I end up again. Like, I'll go through the entire room clearing enemies, but I end up in the same spot. This time I didn't feel like that. This time it actually felt nice. But it's just a weird thing. Maybe I'm just weird and no one else really experiences this problem. Maybe it's just me. It probably is just me. I tried to loot a little bit, but not too much just so I didn't get weighed down. My father of the Institute, refused to accept the errors of his ways and join us on the good side and enjoy a barbecue, so I had to kill him. It was the only dignified response to every crime he's ever committed. On the reactor room, I took a look at the legendary weapons. An enraging combat shotgun actually sounded kind of neat, but I was disappointed by the other legendary weapon. You'll never guess what it was. Was it even a weapon? No, actually it wasn't. It was an armor piece. It was a sharp synth chest piece. Yeah, it's pretty lame. So after that, I stuck the bomb on their reactor, which frankly that bomb looks insanely small, but I don't know much about science despite being an engineering major. I did take the little kid robot with me under the convincing guise of I can overwrite his programming with my own if he still is a vegan, but I think I can convince him otherwise. He seemed willing to try it, so that's progress. See friends, they are redeemable. I set up a Nuka-Cola Quantum in front of me, blew up the Institute, and then immediately drank another one which was going to do nothing except give me 5 radiation points, and finally beat Fallout 4 with only the cryo gun. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if there's anything else you would like to see in future videos, like challenges or whatever, please let me know down in the comments below, and I promise the scripts are going to be a lot more consistent from now on. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.